Triple E EDC here, back again with another knife review and why I'm selling it video. This again is going to be a combined video because I've done a bunch of these why I'm selling it videos recently. That's because I have just been on a kick lately where I'm trying to make a bunch of trades to try to experience new knives, both for my own enjoyment and for this channel. So this is the Massdrop Ferrum Forge Crux. Now this does come in a milled version. This comes in a couple different colors, and also Massdrop no longer is called Massdrop. It's called Drop. So one of the things I'm not sure about is if this billboarding changed at all on here and what they're doing going forward. But this is a titanium frame lock. This is S35 VN steel, and it is one hell of a deal. I believe it around $130 for a titanium frame lock with S35 VN steel, made by We Knives, designed by Ferrum Forge, which is a reputable designer, and sold by Massdrop. I will say that the finish on the blade is really attractive. It does get smudged up with fingerprints quite a bit. That is one of the drawbacks of it. Some of the things that are great about this knife are, I really like the milled pocket clip. I know some people online have said they don't love it, but I really love the milled pocket clip. I think it's great. I also think that the design in the hand on this is great. The ergonomics are fantastic. The forward choil on this is one of the better forward choils that I've had in my hand anywhere. The size on this is pretty good. It's a little small for my taste, but I think for most people this is going to be just in that sweet spot. And yeah, the ergonomics again are just great. This came a little dull to me from Massdrop. That is one of the drawbacks. I don't know why it came a little dull, but it for whatever reason, once I stropped it pretty much brought the edge back, and I haven't ever had to sharpen it. The lanyard hole on this is in a good spot. I don't like the fact that it's sort of not chewed out, but where they carve out in the scales these two spots and then put the lanyard hole in the third in the back spacer. I don't love that part of the design. I also don't quite know why there's this hole here. I know that it sort of goes through the scales for this pocket clip over here, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I guess what they're trying to do is make it so that you can swap the pocket clip over here. That would be my only guess as to what they're trying to do. But that's one of the drawbacks as well. The back spacer, again, not just because of the lanyard hole. I don't love the back spacer. I'm going to talk about some of the negative things about this. I don't love the back spacer. I wish it had some sort of design on it. Now, I did get the plain one. This comes in a milled out version, or a couple different milled out versions that you can get for a couple extra dollars. I was just fine with the plain version. If I had to do it again, I probably would pick the milled versions because I think they would be more resistant to some of this rub that's going on and the snail trails that's going on the scales. This anodization on this is probably the most major flaw or problem that I have with this knife. If you can see, there's significant rub and snail trails all over this. Now, titanium does get snail trails. You can see over there on the pocket clip, titanium does get snail trails, and so I'm not that surprised by it. But this was carried only a handful of times, maybe 3-4 times at the most. And so while the snail trails don't necessarily surprise me, this rub right here on the anodization, that just rubs me the wrong way. I wish I could do one of those laughs like Nick Shabazz does when he makes a really, really bad pun. But you know what? I'm not him. So, in any event, you know, those are my major issues. Also, the flipper tab, I don't love the design just because it's so thin and pointy. I wish it had some sort of additional flat down there so that it was a little bit wider, but I'm okay with it. In any event, those are my main thoughts on the Ferrum Forge Crux. Is this a knife I could recommend? Yeah, it is. For the price, it is very good. You're getting, again, titanium frame lock with S35VN steel. If they have I don't recall if they have a non-anodized version with the plain gray titanium. If they do, and I had to do it over again, that's probably what I would do, and I'd probably do it with one of the milled versions. But that being said, I can recommend it. I will say that, though, with the caveat that I won't strongly recommend it, only because at that price range, once you get up to the milling and everything else, you're in the $150-ish price range, and there are just so many other good knives at that price point. I'd probably be looking at many of those as well, and no longer seeing this as such a bargain, unless you were set on having a titanium frame lock, titanium flipper frame lock. Otherwise, you have things like Spyderco's, which, many of which at that price range are going to have the compression lock. You're going to have many great Benchmades, everything from the Bugout to the maybe used versions of the 940 and 943. You're also going to have special versions of the Manix that they run around that price range. There's going to be special versions of the PM2, although this one is not one of those in the $150 range because this is the KnifeWorks exclusive. But again, you get my point, that is a very, very competitive price range. And so, put this back in frame. And so while I recommend it if you're specifically looking for a titanium flipper frame lock, you also may look at things like the Wee Streak and some other Wee knives at that price range as well, which may end up just being better at that price range. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to be sending this one and this one off tomorrow. Again, I'm getting an M4 custom, or from the custom shop, Benchmade Griptilian. It's an M4 coated blade. I plan on getting the micarta scales for it. I may do a video on that once I get the micarta scales, just disassembling the scales on that and putting on the micarta scales. But that would be my ideal, I guess, version of the Griptilian, based on that. Now, I do enjoy this one. I'm starting to ramble a little bit. I do enjoy this one as well. I'm going to probably do a comparison video of this one and that one once I get the other scales on it, and we'll have a little battle. We'll have a little fun. So anyway, if you want to see that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment on my channel, and I look forward to talking knives with y'all. Thanks. Bye.